So the president also saw on social media or in the media that the task team has now been disestablished by you. He also just heard about it.
Well, I'll have to give you evidence that he picked it up from social media. I don't know. What I know is that I sought an appointment and it was granted at a particular time and I went to brief him. I didn't ask whether he had seen it or not.
So you didn't inform the president before you issued the directive. You only spoke to him after you issued the directive.
I've already said so.
Okay.
Senior counsel.
So thank you. So when or how soon after the directive of 31 December did you tell the president?
Pardon?
When after the 31st of December 2024 did you tell the president about the disband?
I've already indicated that it must have been January, February. I don't have the exact date. I will check.
Okay. What did you tell him? Did you give him any reasons why you are directing that the task team be disestablished?
Well,
or did you just tell him, by the way?
It was a short briefing with the president. It was a briefing. It wasn't a discussion to say, I at some point took this decision last year in December. And all I remember is that I did say there are matters that I have developed a very serious concern about. And I said to him, these matters, among others, have led me to disband the political clearance task team, and that possibly at some point, if I didn't do this, there may have been a call for a commission on those matters. So I decided that I would preempt any need or for such a call at some point, and I did this, and that was one of the things that I mentioned during the short briefing.
So you said it was a short briefing.
Yes. The president would have many appointments and you never get the whole day. It was a short briefing.
I suppose except of matters of national importance, you could schedule a longer meeting with the president.
I could have made it longer.
No, you could schedule, or your chief of staff could schedule a longer meeting with the president on matters of national importance.
I should do so, or I should have.
I'm asking whether it's not perhaps more appropriate to arrange a fixed meeting with the president to have a longer time to discuss.
I do that from time to time when it is necessary.
Well, so that's why. Can we ask? I mean, was this meeting 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, half an hour? How long was this meeting?
I really didn't calculate the time. I got a slot and I used it for the purpose for which I had asked the slot for, but I didn't count the minutes.
And you didn't provide him with reasons X, Y, and Z why you are disestablishing the team. You didn't furnish him with any reports or anything like that.
No, it wasn't going to include a discussion. It was just a briefing. I asked for a slot to give him a briefing, and I did so.
So it was really just to communicate to the president that this is what you have done, and the president heard what you did.
As I've said, I included briefly what the reasons could have been. I don't think I was elaborate. It was not an elaborate kind of a presentation and a discussion. It was just a briefing that I've taken that decision.
So why do you use the word the president was in agreement with what you did?
What should I say?
Well, it sounds to me that you conveyed what you did to the president. The president heard what you had to say and basically noted it. An agreement, let's not become technical. I think we know what an agreement means. Two or more people discuss something. They put whatever is on the table that requires an agreement. They engage and then they say, okay, fine. Here it sounds like there was no engagement. You informed the president of your decision.
I briefed the president.
Yes, you briefed the same thing. You briefed the president.
Mm-hmm.
But the president didn't engage you. He couldn't. You didn't give him any reasons. You never told him why you wanted the task team to be disestablished, so that the president could say, oh, okay, but why X, Y, and Z? And then you engage in a discussion. It was a short meeting. So you briefed him in short, and he noted what you had to say. There couldn't have been an agreement.
Senior Counsel, I am pleading with you to note that there are different forms of engaging, even with the president. You can go and ask to make a presentation. If you are granted an opportunity, you will make that presentation. You can ask for a short period just to brief him on something, and then if it's granted, you do so. It takes different forms. In this instance, it was a briefing from my side, and I don't think there was anything wrong in me using that word, unless it is demonstrated to me that this was wrong.
And Honorable Nhlanhla.
Chancellor, thanks, Chair. Just a second. I think it is important for us to explain to the witness why the evidence leader is emphasizing agreement. It's solely because the main witness had casted doubt whether the president would have agreed for a dissolution of a political killing team. So that's why the evidence leader is emphatic when it comes whether or not the president agreed. Because the main witness went to an extent of saying the president made an address in Northern Cape and he would have applauded the work done by the political killings team, and therefore the main witness does not believe that the president would have agreed to such a kind of a decision. So that's why the evidence leader is emphasizing on the agreement. Thank you very much, Chair.
May I proceed, Honorable Chair?
He has helped you.
Yeah, I asked.
Just one more moment. Honorable Malema.
No, thanks, Chair. I think we must put it simple because it's going to be a serious issue. Did the president agree to the disbandment of PKTT?
The answer in the affidavit is that I briefed the president, he agreed with the briefing I gave him.
So, Honorable Minister, is the answer yes?
Yes, as is in the affidavit.
The answer is yes. The answer which we must record is yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Because the context in which
before you continue, may I check, honorable members, are you satisfied? Can I allow the senior counsel to proceed? Thank you.
And what is going on now? More than anything, to withdraw a task team, a business investigation, and yet we have not received a presentation and the investigation officially. When I'm at least okay now, when I everything, and I was saying to myself, if I have a lot of I don't think I zuba any problem for now. There, which I gave disband with him, what I was with my document. Because we are now talking about operational things. And whether you can't say this doesn't work, this works. How would you get into the conclusion? In my appointment, if there's an intelligence that you have that says unali manipulation, unali things, then you can justify and say, okay, well, before you continue, I'll name brief. There you here's what But the low stop operation on its track, investigation on its track, we stop it. It's going to have some implications. So that was my concern. We check in Natal and local menai. And for me tomorrow, would abe at the legal trailer. Isn't being is officials because isn't some officials is a problem. Some officials of the night of an order. Decision officials decision
of the conversation, but not what I wanted. What I wanted is where I was told there's a threat. So it sounds to me like it is before what took place.
Okay, no, it's fine. Yeah.
With the disbandment, and to me that was a threat. And it was also a promise that somebody is going to go back and say, what did I do wrong while I was MSc, while I was Premier, while I was in water? And I have no problem with that. I have no problem. People can go and start from day one when I was MSc, check any wrong and Premier and water. Those things are fine. And this is what we've been doing throughout the period after I got appointed.
There's a fundamental difference of view of the evidence that we've heard today. And for example, the two key people involved in this task team were never ever consulted about it, and that is Khumalo and General Mkhwanazi. They are the two people directly concerned. I mean, this directive, it doesn't even speak directly to this organogram or the structures in the police. It is directly aimed at three things: ports of entry, intelligence, and political task teams.
Yeah.
So I don't know who you speak to about ports of entry, maybe Home Affairs and maybe speak to them because they also have a role to play there and they should be consulted. Of course, intelligence, there's nothing that we hear from you that they were engaged or that the director of intelligence, who also happened to be Khumalo or Sabia, that they were engaged in all of this. There's no indication from you.
Now, don't be under the impression that when I got appointed, the next thing I did was to write directives. And the next thing that happens, I'm in the commission, I'm in the ad hoc committee. It didn't happen that way. You may have just been introduced in the situation and the challenges that we're having, but we had many discussions since I got appointed. I did indicate that the orientation which got elevated to discussions, which got elevated to decisions, took place. I've had before leave more than 28 meetings, more than that. with the leadership of SAPS and more than 9 meetings with National Commissioner alone. Now, it's another thing to say, what were we discussing? But I'm making it sound serious that I've had those meetings. And throughout those meetings, we were discussing serious stuff, serious issues. All of these things that you're mentioning, that Khumalo, National Commissioner, we have had discussions with them, even on just intelligence alone. And therefore, all the matters that are in my directive or in my directives were discussed. What was not discussed with them is the directives themselves. I have said I didn't discuss directives with anybody else before I wrote them. I wrote them, but the matters that constitute substance behind each of those directives are well known to the people that you're mentioning.
Well,
I did not have any particular meeting with General Khumalo, no, General Masemola, General Mkhwanazi, and General Khumalo. And in a day focusing on the National Political Killings Task Team, there's no such. But discussions include that fall within all the terms of reference. And discussions about this did take place in the meetings that we had. One of them is on the 1st of November. One of them is on, I think, the 22nd of November, the minutes of which I didn't get. I'm still seeking. So it's not like I never had a discussion with anyone on the matters. These are challenges that are within SAPS. These are challenges that we've been discussing. These are challenges that everybody in the top management of SAPS is aware of and have been discussed, but not with a view to writing directives. Those are mine, and those I sat down to think about, and I came up with them, as I say.
Minister, I was asking you about your response, which I must accept and assume your lawyers were instructed by you. And in your response to us on the 1st of October,
yes,
there is no mention, despite the fact that you held a meeting with your deputy ministers to discuss the allegations and other issues in the South African police.
Yes.
Despite the fact that there was a decision taken, according to this note, at that meeting,
yes,
that the minister would engage the National Commissioner on the concerns regarding the allegations. Despite the fact that your lawyers write on the 22nd of November that there was a meeting,
yes,
between the ministry, the National Commission, and all the senior police, you never discussed the task team. Is this note wrong? Is there a mistake? Because it doesn't accord with what you told us yesterday and what you are insisting on today, that you discuss this matter at least with the National Commissioner. You seem to today even not to be saying you discussed it ever with Mkhwanazi or Khumalo.
If the letter does not necessarily pick up the meeting of the 1st of November and the meeting of the 22nd, it doesn't mean that it didn't exist. It doesn't mean that it never happened. And it doesn't mean that we never discussed it. It just means that there was an omission in the letter.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm not referencing the letter at all. I'm referencing a response that was given to us as evidence leaders by your lawyers on the 1st of October. And there's nothing in this response which says that you consulted or had a meeting one-on-one with the National Commissioner about the allegations concerning the task team. This is what this is. The other thing also, I might as well, while I raise this, that the note also doesn't say, is that, and by the way, this team operated illegally since 2022, because you know what, in terms of a 2019 work study, you know, this is just a temporary task team, and I had full authority under the Constitution and the Police Act to disband it. That's also not what this is. That is what I'm asking you about. So I'm asking you, is that an oversight? Is that not what your instructions were? Can you tell us why is there a discrepancy between your evidence of yesterday and today and this note which comes from your lawyers?
Well, I don't have sight of your letter in terms of what you wanted from us by the 31st. But even if I have, if there was an omission, I'm ready to admit that there would have been an omission. But today, I have a submission. I have a submission that I've made to the ad hoc committee, and I've included everything that is at my disposal, understanding fully that I'm in front of the ad hoc commission, and we've done work with the lawyers. We've already pointed at some of the discrepancies anyway in the letters and all of that during some earlier submissions. And I have no problem with that. It would mean that it would have been a discrepancy. But we are in the ad hoc committee, and I've tried my best to remember everything. That includes, by the way, even matters that you didn't ask us to bring to your attention at the time that you demanded or you requested information, which I will make available in the course of this engagement with the ad hoc committee, even though you didn't ask for those. And I'm sure you'll understand and bear with us if there is any discrepancy.
Well, quite frankly, that doesn't matter whether we ask for it or not. When you have an opportunity, I'll read our letter to your lawyers now. But the